folks along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathered along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Good evening, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight. It's Tuesday night and it's one thing, and that's the Premier League prediction show. I've got Newcastle fan and my co-host Tony, and I've got a massive United fan, Maisy, and my favourite podcast as well. Good evening to you guys.
Good evening, John. Good evening, Maisy. All right?
Good evening to you both. I hope you're all well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. And, you know, like got finished up past 2 today, which is great. I tried to get a Friday off on the 28th and I didn't get it. So I think there could be a collision course as well when I have a word as well tomorrow. So that's for another time. Bye. Guys, if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button as well. If you'd like to become a member, then the link is on top of the chat as well. Just 99p. Just think about becoming a member. And you'd like to super chat this, and it's just give what the money's worth as well. So yeah, it's the Premier League prediction show. Before I do that, I'm going to go through some comments. Big up to Ian. Hi to Ian. I hope you're okay. And for the very first time, hi to Dave Telford. I hope you're okay, my guy. And thanks for the compliments as well. If you like your music, then he is your guy. And mate, John, for you a big Man U fan as well. Do you know what? He's going to get a yellow card for that. He's getting a yellow card. He says if it comes on that again, I'll give him a red one. I'll give him a red card.
You got any, John? You'll have to buy some. You'll have to make some, John, a red card and a yellow card. So if anybody says something, you can flash it up.
Flash it up. That's a good idea, isn't it?
I'm going to do. Actually, you've given me an idea. I'm going to do that for next week now. When I'm hosting.
Absolutely.
If anybody says anything, I'm going to say, there you go, yellow card.
Yellow card. Red card. Off we go. Right, let's go crack on to it. The first one I'm going to show, if you both guys are ready, rocking and rolling. And just what I'll do, I've got some breaking news from yesterday as well. Enoch Erepu, the Brighton or Hove, having young midfielder, unfortunately had to end his playing career following the diagnosis of the hereditary heart condition. What a sad day for Brighton fans. And I tell you what, this guy would have made it to the very, very top, Tony, and he would have made it to the top. That guy is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a shame when something like that happens. But you know, to think that he's had to end his career because of a hereditary heart condition and his family history somewhere. It's sad, but you know, but at least it's been sort of like found now. So at least now it's been found. At least now he knows he hasn't got a career. But I'm sure he could go into coaching career. Like, you know, we all look back at what happened with Fabrice Muamba, you see, 10 years ago in that FA Cup tie when he went down and had a cardiac arrest. And, you know, thankfully he's still around like Christian Eriksen is. You know, difference is Christian Eriksen's playing. But this guy obviously hasn't had any sort of cardiac arrest, but he's obviously got some sort of problem that's in the family history somewhere. Maybe it's the right call, you know. You wouldn't want him to play on if it's going to affect him, and you know. And I suppose at the end of the day, as much as it probably hurts him to have him to give up his career, but he's probably looking at it and thinking, "What do I want to do? Do I want to live for a long time? Or do I want to have a career in football?" But it could be the fact I could end my life at any time. So he's probably had to weigh that up. It's probably been a heavy heart that he's had to give up football. but there's other ways he can get round to still being involved in the game anyway. So this, it's not like he's out of the game completely. But we can do is send his best wishes and hope he gets hope his future sorted out somewhere along the line. And but sad that it happens. But it's the way of the world now, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah. It is, Tony. It is sad, man. I mean, 24 years of age, and what for me, I'm so sad about him having to go at the game for medical reasons. But I wish him every success in the future. Maisy, quick comment on Reboot. That guy, he can join any club in the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%. You could definitely see the true potential of him. I think he was a fantastic player. He especially when he played against Man United, he was absolutely electric. It's one of the players you just didn't want to play against. So he was a good player for Brighton. He was a solid player. He could easily fit into any team in the Premier League, and it just seems more than anything, it's just happening a lot more frequently than it used to be. A lot of people, I seen this comment on Instagram that someone's trying to blame things I'm not going to mention on social media, but it was by a blue-ticked person that was blaming what's happened quite recently in the world as to why this is happening now. We can never explain why that is, but it is definitely happening a lot more frequently, and you've got to say that all leagues, Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, they've all got fantastic physios, fantastic medical staff, and to have them identify things before it gets too late, you've got to also give them a great round of applause because they're helping people's health and lives.
Well said, Maisy. Absolutely fantastic comments there. And look, they've got the best in the second one. They pay good money for brilliant medics as well, doctors, and that's what you need at football clubs as well, which is very important. And yeah, go for the concert for the first game. Getting into Gareth, hope you're okay. You're welcome. Thanks for the plug. Thank you, Dave, for coming on as well. And big up box office, Maisy, John and Tony. That's in Ravi, big Liverpool fan. Big up to Doug as well. And I hope you're okay. How was Milan, Maisy?
Milan was lovely. I went to the cathedral, went to the Leonardo da Vinci Museum. I got this lovely top. I don't have Zlatan Ibrahimovic on the back before people wonder. I actually have England international star Tamari on the back of my shirt. It was very hot, 26 degrees on Saturday. I'm surprised I didn't catch a tan, but
wow.
Yeah, it was roasting, and it was a 5-mile walk on the cathedral. So we was all the way up into the rooftop, and you could feel the sun hit you badly.
Beautiful. Is there a TV on the background? Is that you, Tony? Sorry.
No.
No? You see Maisy?
No.
TV at the background? Can myself on it. Come with me. Oh well, never mind. It soon disappeared.
TV's off.
TV's off. Be back as well. Give it another few minutes and that sort of thing. It's definitely not me. Could be me. No, we go for it. Hi, Maureen. Reports a possible ground name change, which will bring an extra 10-15 mil, not including football shirt sponsorship, 24th season. I mean, I didn't know that one, Sefton. If that's the case, we're definitely going to chat about that very, very soon. Maisy looking fresh in the Milan shirt. Hello, lovely bunch of people. Here's to Andrew. Big up the chest for everyone in mods. Please hit us and consider us a scam if you're new to the show. Thank you very much indeed, Chester from South Africa. And Efren saying hi as well. Very saying this rep you as well. It is Doug. It is me. And he is a sad miss. And he is fantastic. He would have been destined for the very top, this kid. Massive miss for the Premier League. Big up to Gary D as well. Hope you're okay. Right, we go straight on to the first game. Brentford against Brighton. And it's a Friday night game. Brentford's at home. I tell you what, they need to fix up better than the shoddy performance against us on Saturday. And Brighton, the Derby, is still the first win under his leadership, and it'll come. I really do think it'll come. I'm going for 1-0 to Brighton in this game. What do you think, Maisy?
I'm going to be honest, last weekend, the only games I watched was at my game and Arsenal-Liverpool game. I watched the highlights for everyone else. But from watching the highlights, I think Brighton was extremely unlucky to come out with a loss against Spurs. Because it felt like, for me, once Spurs got a goal, they got too comfortable and played out for a one-goal win. And that shouldn't be the case. Yeah. I think Brighton still have a terrific side. They may have lost Potter, but they've still got a magnificent side. They're still quite high up in the league. Brentford's got a good side, but I think since they've played against United, they've been a bit hit and miss, in my opinion. Yeah. But I do think that Brighton is going to come out with a win. Even though they've got the likes of Ivan Tony, Brentford, and Bumo, I still think that Brighton have that little bit more quality into the side. I'd gone for a 2-1 win for Brighton because I do think they'll concede, but they'll get back and win.
Yeah, fair enough. And Tony, what do you think is going to happen on Friday night between Brentford and Brighton?
Well, I think this will be a weird game because obviously this guy, Zerbi or whatever you call him, he's looking for his first win as Brighton manager. He's had a draw and a defeat, albeit it was only a 1-0 defeat to Tottenham. But I didn't see the game, but by all what I've heard about the game was Tottenham weren't that great. So I'm pretty surprised that Brighton didn't get a goal back against Tottenham. Brentford, yes, I know we hammered them, John, and but that was their own downfall. The downfall was a defence, that goalkeeper. They were trying to be too clever, playing out from the back. If you're going to play out from the back, if you're going to play out from the back, you have got to be a great team to do that. You know, only the best teams can play out from the back. But you had Ethan Pinnock, or Pillock as I've called him, not a great defender. He's come back from an injury. How can he play out from the back? So, so these things come into consideration. But I think Thomas Frank would have got his team sorted out in training this week, and I think he'll have said to them, look, he'll demand 100% better than what they played on Saturday. He won't be happy with what happened Saturday. So I think they're going to come out fighting Brentford. And it wouldn't surprise me if they turn over Brighton. And I'm going 2-1 Brentford.
Cool. Fair enough. So I'm the only one's going for a Brighton win. It's at 1-0 for Brighton for me. So, let's hope it's a good game on Friday. But I can see Brighton turn up. And if they showed a little... If they turn up against Liverpool and get that credible draw, I think they'll beat Brentford. Brighton we need to fix up very, very quickly. Otherwise, they've seen lots of goals and they're going to be in big trouble as well. But I think it'll be okay under Thomas Frank. Question for Liverpool. Will Liverpool be able to redeem themselves this season for me? Personally, I don't think Liverpool will and will finish 6th. I don't think they'll win a title this season. I think the championship race is over unless they put on a mad run. And I think Maisy will be happy with that, won't you, Maisy?
I've got to be honest, it is funny to see Liverpool's downfall, but you can't really laugh knowing that Manchester United was in the same position last season. I've got ideally no room to laugh at, but I always say when I play against my rivals, I want to have an enjoyable game where they're both on level with each other and it's a good competition. It's always been this, even though Liverpool versus Man United is, for me, the biggest game for Manchester United. And it's always been one or the other, like either Man United have been so awful or Liverpool's been so awful. It's never been in between. But I do personally think that it's just, I think, for one, the player are very overworked. I think there's loads of different things, but you've got to blame here. You've got to firstly, blame FS, their owners. I'm not even. I'm gonna get tongue tied saying their owners, but
Yeah.
you've got to blame their owners because as much as they've paid for Darwin Núñez, they haven't invested into the right areas. They needed badly a midfielder, and when you look at their squad from the Champions League when they, the Premier League when they won that in the 2020 season, they've still got seven of their starting 11 players are the exact same. They're all aging players, and that's something you've got to blame with the board. You've got to come and blame Klopp for his favouritism, for using them same lineups, not dropping players who are on bad form, such as Mo Salah, such as Jordan Henderson, Van Dijk, Trent. These players are not getting dropped. And you've got to blame the players for not putting their absolute 100% into that.
Absolutely. I mean, they got a couple of players over 30s alongside 30, by the way, in complete fashion as well, Liverpool, yeah. But at the end of the day, Jurgen Klopp also complained that it was a handball. Well, it wasn't given. It was handball, but it wasn't given. And he got on a high horse, saying there should have been a penalty. So it's like kind of catching like Jurgen, you know. Just think about that. It was 8 minutes, 3 minutes overtime. You know, he lost because he was favouritism. So you got your own back, my guy. Do you know what I mean? So live with it, Jurgen, and just, you know, just take it. Take a defeat, my guy. Big up to Ian Oyos Avaloy. Ian to you. Big up to Andrew, by the way. Thanks God there's legends, by the way. He is a legend. He's a great guy. He's a
I love Andrew. I do love Andrew. He's a real nice guy.
He is. He's a big United fan as well. One's opening to Brentford Brighton. I like coffee. Big up to you. He thinks he's your favourite. Hi to you. Just about to have a nap, but enjoy your stream. Use free. Thank you very much indeed, Andrew. You enjoy your clip as well. Me and Tommy love seeing you, John, on Saturday. We ever love you, mate. You know what, mate? I love you and all as well. And your kid is amazing. Absolutely well-drilled kid. I'm telling you, he's well-drilled, by the way. Big up to I like coffee, buddy. First on Mbappe wants to leave PSG. I don't personally see him join Liverpool. We don't pay this type of wages. It's just be the hype. Well, Rabi's just on a 3-year contract there. I mean, it's just absolutely. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't believe that for a second as well. And big up to let's have this one. Big up to Jan. Hi, Jan. To you. Hope you're okay. I'm afraid you didn't get your bottles of wine, by the way, because I got my prediction right, by the way. Mbappe's way too good for a second-rate team like Liverpool. You're good to Madrid. And coffee, cooking for the tune. Ian. And not all teams can be amazing. I Swansea player from the goalkeeper. I'll tell you what, Swansea playing some cracking football for what I've heard, and you'll probably know more. Just good as well. And 2 each for Brighton win for me. Big up to Carl McHugh. Carl, big up to you, mate. Do hit the subscribe button, Carl, if you can. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much indeed. FSG. For me,
I just get tongue-tied saying the name like FSG. Yeah, because it F and an S, I always get confused like when I hear it. So I just get mad confused and I sometimes say SFG or do you get what I mean? I just say Liverpool owners.
I just say John Henry. I just say John Henry. That's the owner.
Yeah. Me personally, I think Liverpool's got some problems there. I think we'll beat Liverpool.
They've got huge problems, John.
They have.
The biggest problem with Liverpool is they got rid of Marnie. Well, Marnie wanted to go. They've replaced him with Darwin Núñez. Now, we were looking at Darwin Núñez for a good couple of years. Steve Nixon, our scout, was out there looking, and obviously went to Liverpool. And you know what? From what I've seen from him at Liverpool, I'm so glad we didn't take him, John, because he looks absolutely out of his depth in the Premier League.
At the minute.
And
I said though, didn't he? He was awful.
He's got temperamental problems as well when you look at him. His temperament's not right for the Premier League. And, I'm so pleased we didn't sign him, John, if I'm honest. And I know there was a lot of people banging the drum. Let's get him in. But you know what? I did have nagging doubts myself, thinking, is he actually going to make it in the Premier League? But when you look at him in Holland's hit the ground running better than him. Even Isak's hit the ground running better than him. I know Isak's out, but
Isak.
But Liverpool they're just not the team they used to be. And Klopp is just, he now knows what it's like to struggle. And do you know what it is, John? Yeah. We're above them, but we're above them by 4 points. So they need 2 wins and us to lose 2 games or whatever to get above us.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're a team on the downward spiral at the moment, but there's no way they'll win the Premier League unless they go on an amazing run, which I can't see happening.
Well said, Tony. Totally agree. I mean, that team there, Mo Salah's out of form at the minute. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's been having a good season so far. Not saying he's good enough. I still think he's a world-class player, but he's not showing it. There's still Miss Granati at the back as well. I rate that guy as well. He is brilliant. He really is. Chelsea
I
saw
did
that.
say, though, didn't I? Like, do you remember when it come to... while transfer window was on, I said Darwin Núñez is crap. I did say this, and you will back me on this, John. And I said he will not adapt to that Liverpool side. It's because they play a 4-3-3. He's awful linking up with midfielders, and his first touch is just like Romelu Lukaku's.
Yeah,
and the only way he will be able to adapt to the Premier League is if they change to a 4-2-3-1, which I think Liverpool need to do because they're low short on midfielders now. And with that Arthur Marshmallow injured, let's just call him, they need to go as a 4-4-2, and there's no way Liverpool could ever play as a 4-4-2. So the 4-2-3-1 is at what they need to play, and they needed to have, say for example, they was all fully fit, which Luis Diaz isn't now. I'd say when they played in the Champions League, they played Jota as a 10, and I think that really, really helped Darwin Núñez massively. And I think that's really what they need to have, either a proper number 10 or a striker behind him. I personally said Bobby Firmino would be the best option, but I don't know now because they're obviously running low on options. Maybe they could still do Firmino and put Jota on the wing because he can play that for Portugal, but he does need to have a system change to suit Darwin Núñez.
I'm going to have to agree on there, Maisy. They're going to have to change up for get the best out of him. But 4-3-3, a kind of player has been improved. And listen, at the end of the day, look at that Joe Linton. Couldn't score. He was absolutely hopeless, right? And Eddie Howe's come in, right? And he's turned him into a magnificent player. We chat to him later on as well. Chelsea sold out quickly today. Sold out against Chelsea. I'll be there as well. For me, Liverpool got arrogant after winning the league, not out getting on the squad and being too low to players. That's exactly what's been said. Tell you what, an effing love the odds amazing, John, mate. Absolutely, but I won't read the rest of it. I agree with you what you said a little for me. So I'll go for this to go to the next game. Reports saying that Klopp was accused of Arteta of influencing the referees. Well, who knows? Big up to Tanji, by the way. Hope you're okay. And everyone there. And it's just as funny. Hey, John. Hey, just Static as well. Big Guna. He's on top of the world in a minute. Big up to Static. Andrew, would you like to store bought cheeseburger? That's and Dave. Big up Maisy, who always will include up. I agree. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Get John 4 here before October ends. Thank you very much indeed. I love that hopping, by the way. Big up. Lucky escape that in it. South American Andy Carroll. Andy. Is he United? Is Kyle a United fan? I don't know.
Yeah, Kyle's one of my friends.
Wow.
I met him obviously face to face. That's how we've become mates, and we've connected through social media since. So, yeah, he's one of my guys.
Brilliant. Love it. And look past the Dad's Army midfield, who all qualifies for our bus pass. I tell you what, all United fans will love you for that, Chris. Let's be real. Let's go straight on to the next game, right? It's Leicester, who are struggling against Crystal Palace, who are also struggling as well. I mean, look, this game, I think it's got goals in this game. But again, I'm going to go for a Palace win because I think they'll find a way and they're going to follow that up. Leicester are struggling so badly, Tony. I mean, they beat Forest 4-0. We thought, there we go. They got the Leicester back. Bang, goes to get beat off Bournemouth. Bournemouth has improved a lot. And yeah, this is good. A very tricky game.
Yeah, will be, John. I mean, what did I say last Monday on the prediction show? Obviously, because Maisy was on holiday. What I said Bournemouth to win 2-1 against Leicester, and I got that absolutely bang on.
You did.
You know, they had that They had that 4-0 against Nottingham Forest, but let's make no mistake about it. They played against a poor Forest team who weren't even up for the fight at Leicester's ground. So it was a really easy 4-0 win. So when they went to Bournemouth, yes, they went 1-0 up. But the problem they didn't do was they didn't put any more chances away after that. So they allowed Bournemouth back in the game. Philip Billing got his goal again.
Yeah.
And then obviously Christie scored. So Leicester lost that. And like I say, my prediction come true. I think Palace will be a tough nut as well, even though they're at the King Power. I mean, Palace played Leeds team on Sunday, and Leeds were all right-ish, but Palace were better and deserved to win more than Leeds did. And I can see Palace going to Leicester and winning. Now, I can see, I can see goals in this game from both teams will score. I think Madison will be on the score sheet definitely for Leicester. And I know Chris is in the chat, so Chris, he's still not signing that new contract either, because
there you go, Chris.
he's coming to Newcastle in January, mate. Honestly, he is. But yeah, so I think Palace will win a 3-1.
Wow. Okie dokie. And Leicester,
because the defense of Leicester is very, very shaky, John. And I don't think it's all down to the goalkeeper, Danny Ward, who's suspect. I think it's their defense. But I don't think Danny Ward is anywhere in the capabilities of Kasper Schmeichel. And I'm not saying that in a nasty way, like as in saves-wise. The difference with Kasper Schmeichel was at Leicester, and Chris is in the chat, and he'll probably agree with me on this. I think what I'm missing from their keeper, especially Schmeichel, is he organises that back four. He's always talking to them, telling them where they should be. They haven't got that no more now, and it's gone. And that new defender, the side, I don't rate him one bit. I think he looks the one who tries to look like Colaccini. He's never be as good as Colaccini. He might want to look. He might have a hairstyle like Colaccini, but he won't come. He won't even be able to tie Colaccini's shoelaces.
Definitely not. And to be fair, he had a shaky season, didn't he? First season was poor again, and he stepped up to the mark. Colo, I tell you what, Colo's fantastic first year. Marks out of 10 for me. During the steer, I'll give him an 8. Excuse me, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because, you know, he is, when he's good, he's good. When he's poor, he's poor. But I'll give him an 8. Big up to you, Chris. I'm saying 2-1 to Palace and go get racist things. Well, I'll tell you what, I've never given an F for a United fan or the sport. I've been honest, I never can do. But I love the fan representation of Maisy and love the relationship you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ian, I've got to get on my show very soon. After here, as I love the show. 3-1 to Brighton. Hi, Leicester. Palace 2, Leicester 1. Palace 3, Leicester 2. Maybe Nunes in the midfielder like Joel Linton.
I don't even know what he is. I really don't. I don't even know where he's fit to play. He's just absolutely awful, honestly. Like, the thing is, what helped him was when I obviously watch a lot of the Portuguese league, so I've seen a lot of Darwin Nunes, and when a lot of United fans were saying, I want Darwin Nunes and all that, I was like, and now they're saying they want, obviously, Diego Costa from Porto, which I do, but I'm literally saying, how many League of Portugal games have you watched? Like, they don't get shown in the UK. So you've literally got to watch them on a stream to get access to them. So, don't watch your Champions League games. So, realistically, how many games have you watched week in, week out of these teams? And I genuinely don't think that these people who wanted Darwin Nunes watched many games of Benfica, because see, like Benfica, when Darwin Nunes came, the Benfica manager, he changed his formation to suit this player. He was banging in, I think he was banging in about 50 goals, and the development of the likes of Ramos, who was linked to Newcastle in the summer, who I highly rate.
Yeah,
he was tampering his development. He was getting pushed in a different position, which you're not seeing he didn't see the best of until this season. Now, and for that, they didn't even win trophies. They were scraping top 3. So I'm looking at that and thinking something's not right with this guy, because you've seen pure dominance of Benfica before that. They was very dominant in the league. So you've got to look at how the player is. Like, yeah, he done well against numerous of teams, whoever Benfica played in the Champions League last season, because they got very far. But you can't compare a player to how good he is just because you've watched your Champions League game. You've got to watch this player week in, week out to identify, is he a good player? Which is why, for you, John, in terms of the Italian league, you would know a lot more than me, just because I'm not. I don't watch the league that very well religiously, so I will come to you for advice about what players are good. Just like if it would come to the Portuguese league, you'd ask me the same.
Absolutely, 110%. I mean, look, you'd be linked with and Lee as well, like Lee. I can't remember. I'm not very good at pronouncing his name, but he plays in Napoli, by the way. I'm not very good, but you know. And he's a brilliant player, he's a brilliant defender. I don't think he'll be going anywhere anytime soon, I'm afraid.
Do you mean the Kim
Lee? He's not going to lead that at all. He's on a 5-year deal. He won't be going anywhere anytime soon. I'm sorry, but you never know. Maisy, you're absolutely right what you said about player sort of thing, like judging the player sort of thing. You're absolutely right. They need to watch the league before making the judgment properly. Give us your scoreline for Leicester Palace there.
I've gone for a 2-0 for Crystal Palace. Sorry, Chris. The only reason why I've gone for this is both teams are on very poor form, and I think Crystal Palace still have the potential to stay up. So does Leicester. Both teams do have potential because they've got great sides, but I just think right now Crystal Palace have that tiny bit more hunger right at this moment in time. I do think, though, compared to last season, maybe Patrick Vieira's tactics are getting caught out.
Yeah, he's been
You've got
found
to
out.
change every season in the Premier League, which is why you see Pep Guardiola so effective. Thomas Tuchel was so effective for the first so long of him being at Chelsea, because people were overestimating them kind of managers until they actually played against them.
Well said. Like I said, going 2-1 to Palace. And Ian, I'd love to get you on, mate, but it's a fee tonight. But what we'll do, we'll make sure we get you back on soon on my channel, hopefully very, very soon. And we're definitely going to talk about Toon Talk as well, 110%. And Tony's going to host the show for a week next week, so it'll definitely get you on as well. Casper's a bad season last season, had to go, was past it. And after going out,
go on. Sorry, just a moment. We're talking about Darwin Núñez, right? And I've got his stats here, John, right? This is the Premier League, since he's played in the Premier League. Now, I can put him in comparison to Alexander Isak, right? So, first of all, Alexander Isak played 3, started 3, scored 2 goals. Yeah. Darwin Núñez has played 5 games, started 3 of them and scored 2. So Alexander Isak's scoring rate is all of a sudden better than what Darwin Núñez's is. And, I mean, Darwin Núñez's goal conversion is like 11%. He's had 2 out of 15 attempts from inside the box and scored 2 goals with it. And, you know, he's had 1 assist as well. But other than that, his contribution's not that great. I mean, against Palace, they gave him a 5.4. You know, SofaScore gave him a rating of 5.4 against Palace. That's poor.
He got sent off, though, didn't he?
Was that not against Leeds? He got sent off.
No, it was
Palace. That's right.
Palace got sent off, didn't he? So
that's right. Yeah, yes, that's right. With Anderson.
Yeah,
Anderson. Yeah.
And another thing about Núñez, he's got to take the wind-ups as well, because he ran them up all day in that game, and Núñez couldn't handle it at all whatsoever. They're going to find out, we said this basically before, the Premiership defenders are going to look for him, right? They're going to wind him up, keep doing it until he loses it, yeah? Now that's down to Jurgen Klopp to tell him he's going to get used to it. What can I say?
Even Martial has got a better goal on average than Darwin Núñez this season. Anthony Martial has only started 1 game in the Premier League, and he's come on as a substitute twice. He hasn't even played 90 minutes overall in terms of minutes in the Premier League so far,
Yeah,
and he's
man.
got 3 appearances, 2 goals.
And now he looks like he's out for a bit because he went off with an injury against Everton on
Yeah.
Sunday.
He did.
85 million quid. Wow. He's got to show it. Maisy support the tunes here. Proper Bruno play week in, week in, every week. Ramos
I do rate him. He's a good, fantastic player.
He is a great player. Also, the Benfica is the best at St. Paul. Prospect in Portugal. Maisy Tony. These took us a miracle to win anything. Like I said, I can't get on the deal, but I'll definitely get you on very, 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 very soon for 2 talk as well. Please hit the likes, and in fact, if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button. Also subscribe to Tony on Twitter, also Maisy on Twitter, and Devils United, and as well, she's got a fantastic channel. She's just monetized as well. Big up to Maisy. Only got 10. Knowing the way our season's going, we'll sack Rogers and employ Bruce. I tell you what, please don't, Chris. Please don't. Let's have the bounce back ability home win. Otherwise, I'll get on there next week, John, and even get my Tommy. Yes, please don't. We're definitely going to sort. Toy's going to be in charge and that sort of thing. He will sort you out, mate. He will sort you out, and he'll love you as well. How do you guys see Chelsea doing on the Potter? I think doing well. I think doing really well. I think Graham Potter's destined for the very, very top. As a professional, I really do. He's Evan D. Question: if Leicester given Rogers, who's better to take over? I can't think of
Steve Bruce.
There's the answer.
Steve Bruce. Because Steve Bruce will get you out the Premiership into the Championship.
Exactly.
Couldn't do that to Thingy though, could they? Couldn't do that for West Brom.
He did promise he'd get West Brom out of the Championship, but nobody thought he meant League One.
Exactly, man.
Isn't it mad to think though that Steve Bruce has actually got the most Premier League promotions in history?
Yeah.
He
has, but he's not very good at that neither, isn't he? Simple as that.
He's the king of compensation claims.
He is, isn't he? He is. Not good, no. Stay well away.
He's a disgrace to the game, John.
He is. He's an arrogant manager as well. I just don't like him at all. Not at all. Newcastle looks a very angry player with a hair trigger temper, not Eddie Howe's type of player at all. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, Fulham against Bournemouth. Fulham have lost the last 2 games. Got beat off us, got beat off West Ham on Sunday, and Bournemouth, they're going great guns, Tony. They really are going great guns. Beat Leicester, and they're just picking up points along the way. Now they're doing well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's the battle of the promotion rivals who came up automatically. Fulham came up top and Bournemouth came up second. Difference is they've both had 2 different starts of season. You know, Bournemouth had that 9-0 hammering, but since Gary O'Neill's took over, they're unbeaten. And that guy still doesn't know if he's going to have a job as a manager or not. So, you know, all he's doing is he's doing what he can. They're going through a takeover. I think, to be honest with you, if the new owner came in and said to Gary O'Neill, we're going to bring a new manager in, I think that would be a bit of a shame, really, because the guy's done well and, you know, he deserves a chance, even if they say, look, there's a contract at the end of the season. But yeah, Bournemouth have done well. It depends how they set up. If they set up like they did against us, I can see Fulham struggling. Fulham haven't got Mitrovic. He's out injured. So that's a big blow for them, isn't it? And
massive.
I can see Bournemouth sneaking this, if I'm honest. And I'm going to say 2-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think they're defending properly as well. And the Gavin O'Neill play a 4-4-2, no feels football. They just get on with it, you know, and they just deal with it, you know. They all get as much points as possible. They're in the top half of the Premier League. Everyone's going to get them relegated, me included. Everyone included is going to get relegated. I'm glad I got rid of Scott Parker because for me, what he did at that interview, I think he shot himself in the foot. At the minute, Liverpool, NHS Anfield, Aston Villa. Big up to Alison as well. I think Alison wants to come on me sure at some stage. I hope I get her on one day and just let us know. She's on social media. Give us a shout, Alison. And giving you this tie is Daptin, you'll come good. Fulham, Bournemouth, Maisy.
I For me, I have gone for a 1-1 draw for Fulham versus Bournemouth. Mitrovic is injured. I think Palhinha's being a bit wary now because he's got 5 yellows. So Bournemouth are playing very, very well at this moment in time, and I think it's going to be quite tough for both sides. It's like a bit of a championship reunion. So yeah, I've gone for a 1-1. And to rather, how has Martinez been blunt ever since Liverpool? Got a clean sheet against Southampton. Got a clean sheet against Leicester. Him and Varane have got a high number of clean sheets together. This is me not being biased, but they're minus Tarowski and Conor Calder. They're the best defensive partnership in the league. That's my opinion. They complement each other so well. He had a couple of shaky starts of the season, and after that, he played very well. It's not his fault that Varane picked up injuries and Lindelof is pish. Yeah, like Lindelof can't even catch a cold. He's that crap. So it's not his fault. His defensive ways. His centre backs changing constantly. Like you look at, how can I say? You look at, like, for instance, Dan Burns. He will complement one of your centre backs better than another centre back. That's how I look at it. One player always complements another player better than another one.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I have to agree. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, Martinez, I think he's doing all right. And Varane, if he stays match fit, we'll come to him later, then those two can make a great partnership at the back. I think if Varane don't get injured, I think he'd be decent for you guys. Honestly, Maisy, he will. So let's go on. What's the score going to be? You said a draw, didn't you? A draw for Fulham and Bournemouth, yeah? I'm going to go Fulham. Yeah, I'm going to go Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2. Obviously, be a draw game. Wolves against Nottingham Forest, Maisy. I mean, those two, one is going to pick up the points very, very quickly because whoever loses this game are in dire trouble.
Oh yeah, 100%. In terms of Wolves versus Nottingham Forest, it is going to be an extremely tough game. I don't think, though, that Steve Cooper is going to be sacked because he signed a new deal, hasn't he, with Nottingham Forest? So that's something I like. It shows that they're trusting into this manager, and it's something that's not been seen recently in the Premier League with so many sackings. But Wolves, they still need to find their feet. I don't even think they've appointed a new manager yet. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win for Wolves. Come on, crap it. Come on, Nunes. Come and score for me.
Hey!
Come and score for me, Nunes.
Good luck for that one, man. And you, Tony?
Yeah, so another Midlands derby. That's 3 in a row for Forest now, isn't it? You know, they had the Leicester, then they've had Villa, which was a 1-1 draw. They looked a bit better last night, Forest, against Villa. Maybe should have won that game, if honestly. But the fact there was a bit of improvement for Forest in that game. Wolves, on the other hand, do you know Wolves are the lowest scorers in all 4 divisions, John?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They got talented players. Raul Jimenez, I mean, he's a cracking player, but he's not been the same. And you got Neves as well. We should have beat Wolves, by the way. We should have beaten them.
We should have, John. And but yeah, they haven't been great, Wolves. And do you know what I can say? I can see Forest winning this game, and I think this is the game. That they were unlucky against Villa to draw 1-1. I mean, it was a cracking strike from Ashley Young. He rolled back the years, and that was a hell of a strike. But yeah, I can't. I'm going to say Forest to win this one. I'm going to say 3-1 to Forest because I think they're due a win somewhere like along the line, a biggish win, and I'm going to say 3-1 Forest.
Fair enough.
They're going to celebrate with Steve Cooper's contract.
Yeah.
But saying that, the only reason he signed that deal is because Rafa Benitez turned down Forest. That's why.
Yeah. I've heard that as well. If he had not turned that job, Cooper would have been sacked. But for me personally, and I said the other day, right, that Steve Cooper should give him the season. They should keep him on because what he's done for that football club is absolutely amazing. He has done a fantastic job getting that club into the Premier League, first time in 23 years, right? And big up to the owner. He's actually seeing sense in believing this guy, right? Giving an extension to his contract. So big up to him, right? Steve Cooper will keep this club up if he starts winning games, Maisy.
I must be honest, though. I think a lot of people are criticising Forest a bit too much. I know they're not doing so well, but imagine being in Steve Cooper's shoes, right? You've signed 20 players, but you've lost that many players as well. Because if you look at their starting 11 from the Championship to now, the only thing what's consistent is their back three. They've literally, and Brennan Johnson. Apart from that, they've literally changed everywhere. And for that, I think it's very hard for bringing in all these new players, some players who you've had in the Championship who kept you up, such as Spence, such as James Garner, not having them kind of players who was crucial for you for your promotion win.
Yeah.
I think it's quite tough because you've not got that stability, and I think he's still yet to find who is his best players. Is it Gibbs White? Should Dean Henderson be dropped? Because I must be honest, his attitude is annoying me. It's absolutely annoying me at the moment, and they've obviously got that one from La Liga on loan, and
not lovely you.
Yeah, I know. They've got a load of new players, and I think you need to give the guy a bit of time to find that because it's difficult.
Yeah, absolutely right. I have to agree with you there, Maisy, there. But they've got to believe in this manager. Keep him on. What do you think's going to score, Maisy? Was it given that game? Wolves Forest?
1-1.
1-1. I say Forest to win. I think they'll win by a goal to nil because Wolves just cannot score goals to love on money. That is their problem. And they need to get that manager in. That guy for Seville supposed to be talking to them. And I think that talk's ongoing. So
it was that Lopetegui.
Lopetegui, I think he's a decent manager, but I think he had to be sat at Sevilla because he's not getting the results, yeah. But he deserves credit at the bank for what he's done at Sevilla. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, do you remember, John?
Yeah.
Do you remember 2018 Russian Cup World Cup tournament?
Yeah.
He got sacked 24 hours before Spain's first game.
Yeah, because he flew to Madrid, didn't he? What an absolute muppet. Seriously, man. You don't do that in a World Cup. I mean, I blame Real Madrid for poaching him. They should have known better. But Julian should have known better as well by flirting to Madrid. Don't do that. Not really got a World Cup going. Simple as that. I've got Bernardine. Big up to you, Bernardine, for Ireland. Hi to you. Hope you're okay. I wouldn't want Mbappe in Newcastle, to be fair, with the attitude might disrupt the dressing room and team unity we've been building. Totally agree. Yeah, true. He seems very huffy if he's not getting this own way. Exactly. Right, going to the next game. Going straight on to Tottenham and against Everton. And that's Maisy. I tell you what, I expect Spurs to win, but for me, I think you need to be patient because Everton don't give much away now. They really don't. And they need a goal scorer. They defend them properly, but they got beat off United the other day. But I still think Spurs will win.
Yeah. Quickly touching on the Man United win, I think they was very unlucky to not come out with a draw because there was some times where they played excellent football, in my opinion. But Frank Lampard, even though he was at the odds for getting sacked, he has turned it around. Connor Cody was an absolute great signing, as well as James Tarkowski. As I touched on briefly earlier on, I do think they're the best defensive partnership in the league and the most underrated one, because if you was to say put a poll on saying who's your best defensive partnership in the league, hardly anyone would say them. They'd say the likes of Ruben Diaz and Laporte, or they'd say Van Dijk and Matip, but they would never come out and say Tarkowski and Coda. I think they both complement each other so well. they both went on an absolute steal to Everton, and I think Lampard addressed the majority of the areas what they did need to. They are missing out on Anthony Gordon. He is suspended now because he got his 5th yellow card against Manchester United. But knowing that it's going to be at the Tottenham ground, I am going to go for a 3-1 win for Spurs.
Yeah, me and Maisy, I'll go 3-1 win as well, straight away. And what about you, Tony? Spurs, Everton.
Yeah. I mean, Everton, they had a good game against the other night against Man United. But do you know the thing is, Everton gifted Man United that win, and I'll tell you why they gifted that win, because Iwobi lost the ball in midfield for the second goal, which allowed Casemiro to pass it on to Ronaldo, who then went on to score. That first goal, again, they lost it in midfield. I think it was Idrissa Gueye who lost it in midfield, and it allowed Anthony to get down the wing and score. So technically, Everton gifted that win to Man United. Man U didn't have to do a lot to win that game because it was handed to them on a plate, literally. And yeah, I'm sure Maisy agrees. It was literally handed to them on a plate. If you're going to like Brentford handed us that win on a plate, definitely, you know, even though we played really well. But I can see Spurs winning this game. And yes, defensively, they can be a little bit leaky, I think, at times, Spurs. But I'm going to say 4-1 Spurs.
Wow. Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I know Maisy touched on like Tarkowski and Cody saying, you know, good partnership. But I sort of like to say Shaw and Botman are probably the best combination in the Premier League, because Botman is way above the many defenders in the Premier League, and he's way above Van Dijk at the moment as well. Van Dijk looks useless.
Wow. You're absolutely right, man. I mean, people are not talking about Sven Botman and Fabian Schär at the back four. 2 defence partnership, absolutely fantastic, those two. Absolutely fantastic. And they're defending properly. Fabian Schär's playing his best football of his career. I really do think that. You know what I mean? And keep it going, lads. Keep it going. Yeah, I'll say 3-1 to Tottenham. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? John B. T. and Maisy. He's lovely. He's a great guy. He's a great, great guy. Everton 3, Tottenham 1. Oh, Gav's going for Everton win. Casemiro with a good header too. That's Casemiro. I do rate this guy. Rashford handball, disallowed goal. Forwards to keep out for Copenhagen and Preston me in both Man City games. Camilo Guabara. Don't know a lot about him, but obviously Foxy does as well. And
but going back, sorry, John, going back to that game, I mean, the Rashford handball, I thought that was a bit of a injustice, because I thought if it comes off your foot and hits your hand, I didn't think that was classed as handball.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. The rules of handball is if it hits your another part of your body and then hits your hand, it should be classed as a goal. But they're clearly not understanding the rules, because the exact same thing happened to Martinez in the Europa League with the Real Sociedad game. It hit his chest before it hit his hand, and they said it was a handball, so they gave a penalty. So they clearly don't understand the rules of handball, the referees or VAR. Touching on that, I watched Man City's game today. Rodri's goal was ruled out disallowed because Mahrez had a handball. I don't know if you watched it, but it fell from the air, and when Mahrez moved to try and get out the way, and it hit his hand, not deliberately, and they gave it away, and they said it was a handball. When realistically, how could it be a handball when it was in the air? It didn't exactly, like when you kick it high up in the air and it falls down. They were saying that's from a handball, and that's the kind of thing you can't rule out. It's not a deliberate handball.
I think you need to explain to us whether it's a handball, deliberate handball. I just don't get it these days.
The rules are clear online. Exactly. If you went and Googled Premier League rules for VAR, what is to go to VAR, what should be ruled out, what's not ruled out, it's all clear. So clearly there is incompetent VAR, there is incompetent referees, and I'm looking at it, it's happening more in the Champions League now. So it makes me wonder if there's incompetent referees in other leagues what we're not aware of. But I still do believe that we do need to have a mixture of referees from different leagues. Get rid of these ones. Anthony Taylor, have a Burton. Come on, I mean, catch a tan in Spain or something. Piss off. And then we can bring in some Serie A rest, bring in some Bundesliga rest. Because I think that's the only way you're going to have these awful English rests improving. Because when you've got awful people giving you rules, you're not going to listen. So...
Crazy,
but you look back, John, a couple of seasons ago under Steve Bruce, and do you remember it was when we had Willock on loan and we were losing to Liverpool? Willock got the equaliser, and if you remember, Callum Wilson went through on goal, and as he was kicking the ball, it hit their defender, hit his arm, went in, and they disallowed it.
Yeah.
But then they said last season that was supposed to change. So if that ever happened again, it would actually stand. But we've never seen that happen.
Rightly so. Definitely. Because again, last season it went against us anyway. It went against us because VAR decisions went against quite a lot of times. But you're right. I mean, it happens again. It should stand. Simple as that. But what do we know about handball? I mean, look at Rodgers' handball against Everton. Should have been given.
And that was. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's just incompetent, absolutely incompetent, and I'm getting to the point where you can't even take the game seriously with these refs.
No, and also the one against the Boa as well. Last season, Manu Boa, when he did a watch along, and I said right away it was a handball.
I'll tell you what was the worst decisions I see was me watching a Newcastle game was last season Fuse against Chelsea, where Chelsea won and Kai Havertz should have been sent off.
Exactly. But again, all right, you're looking after the top six. Nah.
I don't think they ideally look after the top six, because you do look at things where decisions do not get made in all the cases. Like Liverpool fans were crying yesterday that decisions were made on their end. I don't think it's necessarily looking after the big six. I think it's necessarily the rest don't understand, they don't care, or they just don't have that knowledge. I could literally go on to that I could take over and go, I could tell you what a bloody handball is. Is these sets of rules online, bloody observe them and bloody do your job, because you're not clearly doing it.
Maisy, you should be in charge of the VAR after you do.
You know what? I would be in charge of VAR, and I would show them a thing or two anyway.
Exactly. Sergio Gomez being sent off for Man City, and it is 0-0. So it looks like they dropped the first point, City, but it looks like it. Go for the comments. Accidental handball, like if it happened to a defender in the penalty area, Rashford goal should have stood. That's Intangi. Just because it hits your hand, no matter how involved, then it's handball. The current handball rules are disaster zone. My word for Man U game will be, Anthony, going to talk about it in a bit, with Anthony Eriksson and De Gea. De Gea always turns up when he plays against us. We did last season in St. James's Park, didn't he? And it been for him, I think he would have been 5 or 6 for us. Let's be real. Common sense, lack of it from the officials. It's different rules from attacking to defenders, which is wrong. Some VAR referees are guessing to see if the time. Fox saying if it hits the hand as an attacker in the player in any way, the goal is 100% of the time it's decided in South America. Thought it was the same for Europe, to be fair. And it's that. Ash's hand Watson rears above the teeth or I stretch to the side. It was like a ricochet, nothing you can do about it. And I think after Premier League clubs complained about the Palace game week, VAR was under scrutiny and we had decisions going our way. Did anyone see the Willock and Buddha are in the top 6 midfielding as best passes under pressure? I tell you something, right? We are looking good. Let's go on to the next one. And this is the most talked about game. I think it's going to be the game of the weekend for me, right? And I'm going to bring it up. Now, before that, we've got Villa Chelsea first. And Maisy.
Villa Chelsea. Where did I have it for Villa Chelsea? Oh, there you go. Villa Chelsea. Kai can someone please sack Steven Gerrard? Like, yeah, that is something that I'm looking for. Never mind Liverpool's downfall. Steven Gerrard's downfall is a lot more funnier. I must be honest. I'm only kidding, but yeah, Chelsea are looking pretty good so far in the Graham Potter, but I do still think that it is very, very early days. Because you look at Thomas Tuchel when he first joined, like Graham Potter, he done well, but he got sacked 100 games in. So it's still very early days for Graham Potter. He's doing well. He's converted to a back four. He's dropped Koulibaly. Good on you, man. But there is one ego. What I do think is going to let down Chelsea and Graham Potter. Aubameyang. Rumours are suggesting that Aubameyang wants to leave Chelsea already and is in talks with PSG. And could that potentially disrupt Graham Potter? I don't think it will, but it's the last thing he needs. And we already touched on about big egos, and as Aubameyang's one of them. But I do think that Chelsea's going to win this game. I've gone for a 2-0 for Chelsea. And I hope Aubameyang gets dropped and Koulibaly sits on the bench where he deserves and catches splinters in his
just put the respect in Koulibaly's name, please. Could ya? Unbelievable.
Me and Graham Potter are pals now. We can see we see what we can see.
Still, wow. I was saying now. Villa Neil Chelsea 3 for Clun lad. Gerrard always slips up against Chelsea. That's entirely. Whole Villa gets spanked and want them to go down just because of their fans. Tony, before we go on to the game, Koulibaly. Come on. Do you rate this guy? Do you think he's going to make it the Premier League? I say yes, he will. Come on, Tony.
No, I don't rate him, John. I think he's absolutely crap.
Thank you, Tony.
I'll tell you why. Against Leeds.
He's full of Monopoly. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, John. Doesn't matter, John. You could play for Barcelona, you could play for Real Madrid, and you could come to the Premier League and still be crap. So Koulibaly has been found out in the Premier League. I know he's played the last couple of games because obviously Fofana's out injured, and he's playing tonight for Chelsea as well in Milan. But that's the difference. He can play against an Italian team because he knows how they play the Italian teams. But he has looked really suspect, John. I mean, against Leeds, he was absolutely dreadful. He was diabolical. And I think the sending off probably helped because at least he got off and had an early shower and thought, oh, thank God for that because I'm not that bloody good, am I? So, no, I don't rate him that highly, John, if I'm honest. I mean, I know we were linked with him before the takeover went through and it was first time around, you know. But now I wouldn't have paid the money for him, to be honest, John. He's getting on now and he's 30, so
31.
Well, there you go. And I mean, you know, the amount of money Chelsea's paid for him. So I mean, he might come good, but you know, I'm not being funny, John. It may be maybe the Premier League's a step too far for him. Maybe he's just been too used to Italian football. But no, you know, who knows? If he proves me wrong, then I'll hold my hands up and say, yeah, okay, I got that wrong. But Villa Chelsea, I have to disagree with Maisy. I don't want Gerrard sacked yet, please, Maisy. I want to wait till after the 29th of October.
I'll be there.
Because we need him in charge then. Because that gives us a chance to beat them again. But this time we won't just beat them 1-0. We'll beat them by a few. The way we're scoring. But Villa Chelsea, I can't see Villa winning this game. Chelsea all day winning this game. 2-0 from me. Chelsea 2-0.
I'm gonna go Villa 0, Chelsea 3. I think 3-0 to Chelsea. I think they're getting it together now. And Aubameyang, if he wants to leave Chelsea already, well, shame on him. Because at the end of the day, right? I mean, they saved his career at Barca, by the way, and he does that. But basically, I agree with you. They have got a big ego at that football club. I hope Potter sorts them out ASAP. And going to the comments, just 5 Villa 0 seems to be slipping away. Big up to Maisy, John, another fella. Tony, I'm dropping a like. Thank you so much, Eddie. Also, drop subscribe as well, please, Eddie, if you can. That'd be amazing. Thank you so very much indeed. Maisy, you're funny. Last, that's and Ravi. Man United won Newcastle 6. Newcastle Giants 2 boss 1 of the 7 dwarfs. What's that say on your cap? It says Kumo Tire, by the way, mate. Kumo Tire. And Devers, John's a legend. Do you agree, guys?
Of course.
Yeah, of course, John. Yeah.
Well, I don't mention Maisie's mate on there too much. Sorry.
What mate?
You know, I think you know.
Ooh, Koulibaly.
Yeah, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly. Nah, not for you. Nah. Guys, tell us what you think in the chat. What do you think of Koulibaly? Is he been good this season? Leave it in the chat, please. Let's go on to the next one. And I think this is
rate him based off his Premier League. Don't rate him based off Napoli.
Nah.
I'll tell you what, Koulibaly would make a hell of a left back, John. Left back in the changing room.
Wow. We leave it there. Because I'm getting beat. I'm getting absolutely knocked out. When I'm going to the Man United Newcastle, Maisy, please take it away.
Both sides. I think right now, Newcastle have been looking great. Man United as well have been a bit of a hit and miss. We're not that far apart in terms of the Premier League table either, to be fairly honest. And whoever wins is obviously going to be strengthening to get into Europe. But we've got Martial out, but we've got Rafael Varane back. Sancho got dropped, so could he start? I don't know. He got dropped last weekend, and we played against Everton, and we played pretty well, to be fair. But based off it being at Old Trafford, I'm sorry, but I'm going for a 2-1 for Man United.
Okay, Mace going for United to win by 2-1. Tony, this is the game you've been drumming up. You said that this is the game where we can win, and I honestly think this could be our time. But Tony, I'll let you take it away, mate.
Yes, we've scored 9 goals in 2 games, conceding only 2. I know people might say it was only Fulham and it was only Brentford, but when you think Brentford tore Man U apart and won 4-0, not that I like to keep mentioning that one, Maisy, by the way, but
we've changed since then, though.
But that's the same Brentford team, apart from obviously Pillock come back into the team, and obviously they made some mistakes, but that's still a lot of them players were still playing against Man United at the time, like Ivan Tony and Mbeumo. I can see, because we're playing full of confidence, winning breeds confidence, and because we're playing with confidence, we've only lost 1 game this season, and that was only because Klopp told the referee, don't blow that whistle until we score, and then you can blow the whistle. And that's exactly what the referee did. You do what Klopp tells you. But we're just playing some great football at the minute. And what Man United don't realise is as well, when we played them last year at St James's Park, they robbed us of 3 points because they didn't deserve a draw from that game, because they were absolutely a shambles that game. Ronaldo was firing wide everywhere. And, if we'd put our chances away, we would have won that game comfortably. It took a substitute to come on, Cavani, to get an equaliser. And it was a scruffy equaliser, but, so they robbed us there. But Eddie Howe has had the rest of the season. He's had a full pre-season. And he will prepare the players for this game. And this is going to be a tough test for Man United, because this is the first time Eddie Howe has prepared his team properly, and he's had a proper squad to prepare against Man United. And I know it's at Old Trafford and we don't have a great record down there, but I can see us playing well there. And we've got the best Bruno in the league. I don't rate Bruno Fernandes. I can't stand the bloke. He really grinds on me. our Bruno G will run that midfield show on Sunday. We'll probably have ESM back in the team. We've got Wilson firing up front. I'm taking Murphy out of the team because I think that's what will happen. I think ESM will come back in. And no disrespect to Dan Burn, but I hope he is dropped and put on the bench because I'd rather put Target there because, to be honest with you, if Burns up against Anthony, he's going to get absolutely destroyed by Anthony because Anthony's got pace, where at least Target can get back and defend. So we need to swap it around there. It'll be a good game. And I think we're going to give Eric Ten Hag a shock, that's for sure. You know, I've not seen a lot from him that he convinces me that he's a great manager. I want us to go there and win, John. And I want us to go there, not only win, but I want to get their fans. I want to get their Man U fans on the back of their manager, on the back of their owners, the Glazers. That's what I want to do. And I want to make their Man U fans go toxic towards their club, like the normally
We're already toxic towards our club.
Really toxic.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I want to make it even more for you. So you might even hurry the Glazers out for you, you see.
That's doing us a favour. That's doing us a favour. You don't want to do Man United fans a favour. You don't like us.
Yeah, but we're going to get your owners out of the club for you. But I think we'll go down there. I think we can turn this around and win it, John, and go back to 5th place. So I'm going to say we're going to win it 3-1.
Big call. Big call. That's a fair shot, Tony. For me personally, first off, I'm going to say it, like I said it a million times, I'm not scared of this Man United team. I don't think this United team it's great. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's not coached by Alex Ferguson. It's not got players like David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and all those top players, from my opinion. But this is our time to beat East Maisy. I'm sorry to say. That's what I say. We're playing with confidence. We scored 9 goals in the last 2 games. We're defending properly. We have knocked in more than 2 goals this season. Sven Botman's on fire. Damien Shear is playing his best football of his career. Kieran Trippier, he leads from the back as well. Our midfield, I agree with you. Bruno's going to control that midfield. I look at that midfield, right? Christian Everson's quality, by the way. Let's be real. But I think Bruno is different class. He is an elite midfielder. ASM would probably turn Dallo inside and out if he faces him, right? And Miggy is playing fantastic in a minute. 4 goals in 9 games on a pound grind, yeah? I think Lucio's going to struggle with his lives. But is Fulham playing on Sunday, by the way, Maisy?
He should be back fit because he did come on as a substitute last week against Everton. So I'm presuming he is going to be back in that starting 11 lineup.
Yeah, I think if ASM get on top of this game and Miggy get on top of this game, I think it's going to be a bad afternoon for your fullbacks, by the way, I really do. Looking into the game, we haven't beaten since 2013. And by 4 o'clock on Sunday, we're going to win by, and I don't normally say this, by the way, but I think we're going to win by 3-1. I really do think this is going to be our time. 3-1 to Newcastle United. And I think we will make history. I don't think they get beat, but 3-1 it is. So,
John,
yes, Tony.
And also, what makes it easier for us on Sunday as well is Man United star player is suspended for that game, which helps us out a lot in midfield. That's Scott McTominay, who's out, you know, the best midfielder in the Man United squad.
He got dropped because he was crap against Man City and Man City, and he's been dropped since. So I don't think you'll be getting back into that starting lineup anytime soon whilst Casemiro's fully fit.
No, I was being sarcastic, Maisy, by the way, because I know how much you don't like him and when he picked up that yellow card, I thought, oh well, Maisy will be even more happier now because he can't play next weekend.
Seriously, I don't understand with this. I'm going to call him an idiot because he is. He comes on for literally 2 minutes and he gets a yellow card. He's just incompetent. Like, I don't get what people like about him. Like, I understand that he played for a bit because he was very good, like for a couple of games, but so was Dalot, and Dalot for me is one of the worst right backs I've ever seen in existence. Do you get what I mean? Just because our players play like 2 good games doesn't mean I'm gonna like the guy, because I don't. I don't like Dalot. I don't like McTominay. I don't like Maguire. I don't like I'm starting to dislike Lindelof. I don't like Luke Shaw, but Malassi after that ammonia game didn't deserve to start. This is something what we haven't had at Manchester United for a while, is that Ten Hag isn't afraid to drop people. He will drop people if you're not having a good performance. Sancho, who people thought was an undroppable player, he's got dropped. Malassi has got dropped for Luke Shaw, and he did pretty well against Everton. I got to give it to him, but McTominay's finally been dropped. Thank the Lord.
I agree with Southampton as well, and some as well.
Oh, honestly, you could have had him. I literally would have said, give us a Kit Kat or some Smarties, and you could have McTominay.
Brilliant. That's fine. Nay, what have you, Maisy? With Flyers beaten United will break the link jinx. We've not won at Old Trafford since 2013, and a win would be huge. I believe we'll do it. Robbed Liverpool playing the simple lads. Koulibaly hasn't been as bad as everyone makes out. Had a shock against Leeds. Yes, I get it, but had a good game against Spurs. Last 2 games been solid with 2 clean sheets. That's according to Foxy. We've won 1 win since 72 or Trafford is our time. Don't think we'll lose. Going for 1s each or popular 2s each draw. We're also more prepared to face United this time. That's I like coffee. Bruno versus Casemiro midfield ballot. There are major gaps in space in Man U's midfield, which can exploit. Absolutely. I will be happy with a draw against United as long as United has played well and we've given our best. Target Pocket Salah, Anfield, and needs to start Sunday. He has to. As we get Dallow long there. Newcastle hasn't exactly got any Beckhams or gigs either. That's the thing, Carl. The thing is, though, Carl, if you think you're going to beat Newcastle easily, right, by 3-1s and 4-1s and 5-1s, those days have gone. Trust me, those days are gone. Because
I do see his point, though, because it's true. Both teams don't have. In my opinion, I don't think both teams have got world-class players. They've got potential to be world-class, but we don't have world-class players. I think that's what Kyle's trying to refer to.
Yeah. That's exactly know what you mean, mate. So you're absolutely right. I know exactly what you mean. But, we've got potential to be world-class in the future. I'll also be world-class probably in a couple of years' time under our ownership. And Man U will one day get back to where we want to be. Anthony versus our left back, which will be target, will be an area of weakness for us. Hopefully a Kabayi special again. Trippier free kick. I love that. Tommy could be sent off at 5-time season, the way he plays, dirty player. I can't spell don't tell Simon Jordan. Scott the Terminator, guarantee card for best.
Oh, don't call him Scott McTerminator, just don't. The worst thing I ever heard was someone called him Mick Zidane. And I literally hate people who've called him Mick Zidane. I've blocked these people on social media after I'd heard Mick Zidane. They refer him to Zinedine Zidane.
Crazy, man.
Couldn't lace his boots.
Exactly.
It riles me more than anything. Honestly, there's this Man United women's player called Katie Zellin. She's literally the Scott McTominay version as a woman player, and people say she's better than Zidane. She's better than David Beckham. I was like, where'd you open your BB pies?
Maisy, wow. I say wow.
Oh, don't call him McTerminator. Just no one ever call him Mick Zidane in front of me. Just please don't.
If I was there, I would not rate this guy anyway. So Maisy, I'm on your side. And I'll say 3-1 to Newcastle, and this is going to be our time. Sorry, Maisy. We go to Southampton versus West Ham United at St Mary's. For me, I think West Ham will carry on with the left off with another win now. I'm going to go 2-0 to West Ham. And Southampton at home are very, very poor, in my opinion. And I think Attitude's times number, Tony.
Yeah, I do as well. West Ham haven't had the greatest start of the season, but they're starting to pick a little bit up now. They beat a Fulham team, which looked very poor on Sunday, if I'm honest, John. I watched the game. I watched it on a stream, and I thought they were very, very poor, to be honest, Fulham. West Ham got that win and fully deserved it, really. I know there was people saying there was doubts over the third goal because Antonio handballed it. But what you've got to look at is, yes, there was a handball involved. But when he was going through and it was either blocked by a defender or the saved by the keeper, I can't remember which way it was now, that then goes into a different phase of play. So when he goes round and scores, VAR can't intervene because the Fulham players touched it. So it's classed now as another phase of play. That phase had broken down, potentially, and it's now entering into another phase. So that's why they couldn't rule it out. But I can see Southampton. Yeah, I can't see Southampton beating West Ham, if I'm honest. I'll say 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 West Ham. I say 2-0 West Ham. Maisy.
Where did I have it now? I've gone for, was it Southampton?
Southampton
I've gone for a 1-0 for West Ham. I do think that Southampton have been a bit of a hit and miss this season, and I think West Ham, Sakama is doing very well, but Quetta was outstanding. He was probably one of my best midfielders of the week, from what I've seen. And I think this guy's only going to get better, Paqueta. But David Moyes needs to drop his favourites as well. Like for Lanzini, for instance. I don't think he's good enough. But I do think West Ham will come out with a 1-0 win.
Great stuff, great stuff. And clean sweep for West Ham win. And Southampton haven't got a player. Let's go on to the main game of the Sunday afternoon. It will be 6:30 Turkish time, 4:30 UK time, because I'll be at Turkey on Sunday, and it's going to be Liverpool versus Man City. That should be the top two, but Liverpool's having a poor season at the minute, and there's going to be one winner there. I'm afraid I'm going to go Man City. I think they're going to win convincingly. I'm going to say 3-1 to Man City. Tony.
Yeah, you can't see Liverpool winning, can you? Because I mean they've been absolutely poor. And Haaland's going to be on fire as well. The guy just can't stop scoring. So I'm going to disagree with your score prediction, John. Did you see 3-0?
3-1 Man City.
3-1.
They are on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with your prediction, because I'll tell you why, John. Because Man City are playing well, and Foden's on fire. Haaland's on fire, and when them players are on fire, the rest of the team's going well. De Bruyne, you've got Gundogan, you've got Bernardo Silva, so I'm going to say Man City will win 4-0, John.
Oh!
If they can beat Man United 6-3, they can go then beat Liverpool 4-0.
Wouldn't surprise us. Wouldn't surprise us at all.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, John. It'll be a Haaland hat-trick.
Cool. And Maisy.
For me, even though Liverpool haven't been doing so well, they still managed to get 2 goals against Arsenal, a very good Arsenal side right now. I think it's going to be a lot narrower than people think, just because I think with how Klopp was fake crying on the TV, I think things need to be changed. The fans are starting to get very toxic. It says a lot when I'm going through my Twitter after a Man United game and I'm seeing more Liverpool fans crying and I'm seeing Man United fans happy over a win. So that really speaks levels, to be honest. But I've actually gone for a 3-2 win for Man City. I think it's going to be very, very close.
Fair enough. Fair dues. So there you go. And that's going to be our prediction scoreline. Before we crack on for the guaranteed goal scorer, we've got Foxy disagree John Sully to say that we never lose by 4 or 5. We do seem a lot more solid, but if we go behind by 2 clear goals, that's when we see our fight. Last season, we collapsed away at Spurs. I think we got, in my opinion, I think Eddie Howe's team will make us fight to the very end. I think we got a bit of steel in our side as well. And look, for me, I've said we defend them properly, set that, but we should see. But we are a lot tight at as well. We could have got hammered by Liverpool away, we didn't. So we could have got destroyed by Man City away. We didn't. In fact, we lost. We conceded more than 2 goals once against City. So we'll see what happens. I think both Ireland and Bruno guaranteed goal scorers last time. 6-0 to Man City. Long may continue. Liverpool having a bad season, lads. And put Klopp in his place. Sorry, Doug, if you're watching the chat. Put a City win 4-2 predictions for this one. Good on you, Cal. 4-1 to City. Coming like Bruce Lee on Liverpool. Yeah, wow. For me, Pep Lingard needs to go first. And Salah has been very poor. He has been poor this season. I can't even lie. So, Maisy, who's your guaranteed goal scorer first?
I've gone for Gabriel Jesus.
Cool. And did I bring an Arsenal fixture? Didn't I?
I don't know.
No, I didn't. We'll go straight to that one, by the way. All right. I'm sorry, but it should have been Leeds against Arsenal. I do apologise, people.
Do you want me to quickly say my score for you then, John?
Yeah, go for the quick one, and then I'll tell you.
I'll just play the simple. Say, Leeds get battered at home. They're gonna concede 3 goals. There you go.
3-0. Yay, Maisy. Yay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm conducting for you.
Yes, Maisy. 3 goals to 0. Go on, Tony.
4-1 Arsenal.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Arsenal. I think Arsenal will be too good for them on the day. And I tell you what, Leeds needs to pick up very, very quickly because they're getting beat again. They're getting beat. So,
oh, Jesse Marsh, how terrific you are. Who the hell has rated this guy? Who actually rated this guy? Seriously, he's awful. He's absolutely awful.
He's been linked to Southampton, by the way.
Oh, honestly, I absolutely despise Jesse Marsh. I've never known a manager who I despise more than Jesse Marsh. Honestly. I actually like Klopp over Jesse Marsh, and that's speaking summit. Because Klopp annoys me. Tuchel annoys me. But Jesse Marsh is just... Jesse Marsh has got one of them faces where you would like to kick it.
Wow.
He's got a kickable face.
Wow. I tell you what, she's on fire, isn't she? She's on fire underneath Maisy. Big up Maisy, by the way. She's being honest. Salah's been poor. Salah's weird to out wide. 4-2 to Arsenal. Go on, miss. 3-1 to Arsenal. Dave, you passed that audition, mate. You could be on the next
Thank
track.
you.
No, I'm good song by Maisy, but poor from the 2 backup singers. That is brilliant.
That's us, John.
Exactly. I'm not going to go on my day job, by the way. I'll stick to this as well. I know what I do best. I cannot sing Save Me Life, but there you go. No, man. Instead, backup singers, this show is too funny. Ravi, big up Ravi. They tried getting Ted Lasso first, but settled for soccer man Jesse Marsh. Deary me. Wow. I don't think he'll be lasting very soon, Marsh, if he doesn't fix up very quick. Tony, who's your guaranteed goal scorer, mate? I mean, mate's gone Gabriel Jesus.
Callum Wilson.
Cool. I'm going to stick with Haaland again. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to say Haaland. Do you feel I should go for a different name? Do you feel I should?
Yes, John, because I was going to go for Haaland, but then I thought, no, I'm going to go Callum Wilson because I can see him scoring on Sunday.
Cool. In that the case then, for me, I'm going to say, I was going to go with Maisy or Gabriel Jesus, but for me, I'm going to go to Martinelli. Because that guy is a baller. He's an absolute baller and class player. Guaranteed goal scorer, Miggy with a charisma-like goal. And Tomori's been sent off and penalty to Chelsea. Wow, I rate this.
Oh, no, I've got the guy in the back of my shirt. Oh, David Tomori, I get you on the back of my shirt. You score in the weekend and then you get a red card. Tomori, what have you done?
Wow.
And Chelsea have scored 1-0, Jorginho.
All right, that pen merch. Right, here's the thing, right? I know people don't like Bruno Fernandes, that's fine. But the thing is, what annoys me, people call Bruno a pen merch. Yeah, he does score penalties, but the point is that Jorginho's last 15 goals were penalties, but it doesn't get spoken.
That's the thing.
He's only ever scored for Chelsea 1 goal that's not a penalty, and the rest have been penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like Jorginho. He used to be at Napoli as well, Hellas Verona. And look, in the Premier League, he's done okay. Had a poor start, but he's done all right. But but hey ho. And big up to John Maisy. Tony, big up to you too. Great knowledge of bant as always. Thank you so much indeed. And it's a harsh word for me. I haven't seen it, mate. So if you think it's harsh, then we have to take your word for it, mate. And curse now, Maisy. Wow. There you go. So we're on that bombshell. We're going to wrap it up there. It's been a brilliant show, and it really, really has, people. And I love you two guys as well. And I'm going to say to Tony, where can you find you in the socials, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me down here at Tony31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. And also, if you haven't checked out, go and check out Sefton's website, www.northwestmags.com. Plenty of information there. Go and have a good look around and see what you think of it. It's there's everything there to see. There's forum there where you can have a chat with other like-minded fans. There's a gallery where you can send pictures in, or if you want to ask any questions on for Sefton, then just send him an email, and I'm sure he'll get back to you as well. So it's plenty to see and do there. Go and have a look, check it out. northwestmags.com. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely, totally agree. And Maisy, we could find you on your socials, pet. And thank you so much for coming on again. And you've been an absolute awesome legend.
Thank you for having me on, John. Typical when now I'm repping my land, they are losing, but it is what it is. But yeah, my YouTube channel's Devils United. Manchester United content on there, doing some World Cup predictions there with Luca. And gonna try and get some more sporting content back on there soon. I done a watch along a few weeks ago. Hopefully try and do one again soon before I go on holiday. It's just hard to fit everything all in, but I am doing a breast cancer awareness month on my YouTube channel, and I do have a link for if anyone does want to donate to breast cancer now. So my YouTube channel for the entire October is going to be raising that awareness for breast cancer and trying to raise awareness and to raise money for breast cancer now.
Big up, Maisy. Big up. Get donating as well. And go on Maisy's channel, make a donation as well. Whatever you can. She'll be so delighted as well. And I'll be doing a donation on Thursday as well. I'll be doing a super chat on Maisy's channel as well. So it goes towards that. Will John be on PDs later? I'll probably be watching it, mate. I've got a lot of things to do that I need, otherwise I would have done. And big up to Dave. Dave, thank you so much for coming on for the first time, mate. I appreciate that, mate. I hope you enjoyed our show. And I'll try and get on the fans forum pretty soon. Thank you for Gareth. Thank you, Hughes. Big up for smashing tomorrow's on the shirt. Mias, that's a Ravi. And by John, by coffee as well. So if you like the video and you like what you see, then please give it a like. Give it a subscribe as well. If you like to super chat, then it's open. Just give what the channel is worth. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. I should do a competition very, very soon. And to do that, to enter, you have to be a member. And then you've got a chance. 99p. And then the price could be worth a lot more than 99p. I'm not money orientated, don't worry about that, but just the options is there for you guys. So, guys, thank you very much for coming on. I'll have a quick word behind the scenes. If you like the video, like I said that, but I'll be back tomorrow or Thursday, one of the 2 days. I'll be on MAISYS as well on Thursday and Friday. And enjoy what you decide to do. Give us your predictions in the comment section, and I shall be back tomorrow, Thursday. But until then, and it's a goodbye for now, and enjoy the evening. Take care.